Welcome back to Storm Alley as we get into week 5 of Sun Salutation A. Let's meet at the top of our mat in mountain pose and align ourselves, feel ourselves grounding into our mat through our feet. Really feel our toes grounding in. We're going to inhale and lift our hands overhead and exhale, bring them heart center. Namaste. Inhale up, you know the drill now. We're going to exhale all the way down into that forward fold. Get as deep as you can. Inhale to that halfway lift. And we will exhale down into our forward fold. We're going to do 2 of these to warm up for our first flow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale down into chaturanga. Once again, I'm on my knees. I'm still growing a baby. Try to keep your head lifted in chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. Take an extra breath in upward dog. Really feel the stretch here. Exhale then down into downward dog. This is our first downward dog of our practice this week. We're going to bend our legs, pedal our feet, take several breaths, and really feel the mat under our hands. Feel our alignment in our spine, our head between our arms. If you're barefoot, and you should be, feel the mat under your feet. Here we're getting ready. We're going to inhale up into crescent lunge. One smooth inhale to get up into position, and then exhale down into that lunge. Deepen that stretch in the back leg. Feel your thigh activate in your front leg here as you take a couple of breaths, and then exhale back down into downward dog, where we will take another couple of breaths here. Pedal our feet out if we need to. Really feel that stretch down the backs of our legs, our hamstrings, behind our knees, our calves. And then we're going to inhale up into crescent lunge on the other side. Even if we're wobbly, we're going to make it in one breath getting up, and then we're going to exhale into that lunge. Deepen that lunge. Feel your strength in your leg that is supporting you on the front. Feel the stretch in that leg in the back. Take a couple of breaths here, the same number of breaths as your first crescent lunge. And then we will exhale back into downward dog yet again. Every time you come back into downward dog, focus on your alignment. Focus on the grounding feeling in your hands as you hold your weight down. We're going to inhale into upward dog here. We will hold upward dog for just a couple of breaths and then exhale back into chaturanga. We'll do it in this order for the first 2 flows, and then for the second 2, third and fourth, we'll do it a little differently. We're going to do a quick little child's pose and then exhale into downward dog. You don't have to add the little child's pose. You can exhale right back into downward dog if that's comfortable for you. You'll take a breath and then exhale all the way down into that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll do it again here to really get that stretch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And as we inhale, we're going to swan dive all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, bring those hands heart center. Since that was our first flow, we're going to take a little extra time here in this pose, this mountain pose with our hands at heart center. And we are going to feel our alignment. Take a break if you need to pause and adjust yourself. You'll notice that I've taken a second to adjust myself here. But we're just taking several breaths. If you're growing a tiny human like me, you'll need these. We'll inhale up now and get into our second flow. Exhale down to forward fold. Inhale up into halfway lift when you're ready. Exhale back into that forward fold all the way down into chaturanga this time. Working to keep the head lifted, spine in alignment. Inhale to that upward dog. You can still take an extra breath here for that upward dog. Feel that alignment and that stretch, and then exhale to downward dog. Head between your arms. Pedal your feet out if you'd like. Nice stretch in the backs of the legs. Strength going down your arms into your hands as you press into your mat. Nice long spine. Inhale now into crescent lunge. All the way up. Exhale down into that lunge. We're going to take one full breath here. Inhale and exhale. And we'll inhale one more time, and then we're going to exhale back down into that downward dog. We'll take a couple of breaths in downward dog, as many as you like. You can always pause this video. Really feeling a stretch in that alignment. We're going to then inhale into crescent lunge on the other side, as you know we do. Exhale into that lunge. We'll take one full breath here as we inhale up, really stretch our arms overhead. Exhale down, feeling the strength and stretch in our legs. One more inhale, and then we'll exhale back to downward dog. Focus on alignment in downward dog. Feel their strength in your arms and hands. Feel the stretch in your legs, and then we're going to come back down and inhale to upward dog. We'll hold it for a breath again here in upward dog, and then on an exhale, we'll do a little chaturanga. And then we will exhale again all the way into downward dog. Exhale, come up, walk your feet forward to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold as deep as you can go. Inhale, swan dive, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands heart center. If your heart is pounding now, take as long as you need to ground and breathe. We're going right into our third flow very soon. You can come back to mountain pose. Just inhale to raise your arms overhead and exhale to bring your hands back to your sides. You can take a second to kind of rotate your wrists and relieve some of the pressure that may be building up from those down dogs. Shift your feet some. Any pressure that's building up, just take a moment to release that. Adjust yourself if you need to, and then we'll get right back into it for our third flow as we inhale up, exhale, hands heart center. Getting grounded again here since we took a moment to shake it out. We'll inhale, arms overhead, exhale, swan dive down into a forward fold as deep as you can manage with no pain. Inhale into that halfway lift, and we'll exhale all the way down into that chaturanga on your knees or in a full plank, whatever you're comfortable with. Inhale, upward dog. Just the one inhale now, and we'll exhale straight into the downward dog. We're going to be moving into one breath, one movement about as well as we can. We'll still take a few breaths here in this down dog, the first one of the flow. Before we inhale now to crescent lunge, reach those arms up nice and tall overhead as you sink on the exhale into that stretch. One inhale, and then we'll exhale back down into the downward dog. One breath, and then inhale up into crescent lunge on the other side. It's okay if you wobble. Keep going. Exhale into the stretch. Inhale, reach overhead. Exhale back to downward dog. Here now we're going to exhale into the chaturanga and inhale into the upward dog. And we'll exhale back into the downward dog. Switching it up this way, I realized was better for breath movement and seemed to flow better. When you're ready, exhale, walk your feet to the front of your mat again for that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands, heart, center. For our fourth and final flow, it will be one breath, one movement. I'm going to stop talking and play a little bit of music for this section. Follow along the best you can. It's always okay to go back in the video or pause. Take as many breaths as you need in the mountain pose to feel grounded and ready to go into the final flow. Let's go. This concludes our first yoga session for week 5 of Sun Salutation A. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.